The island of Berk is a Viking village that is plagued by attacks from dragons that steal livestock and endanger the villagers. Hiccup, the 15-year-old son of the village chieftain, Stoik the Vast, is deemed too weak to fight. Stoik had popped a dragon's head clean off its shoulders when he was a baby. Berk is situated on an island, very close to the Arctic Circle, where it is always cold. The village had been in existence for 7 generations and relies on fishing and hunting for sustenance. Despite the frequent attack from dragons, the Vikings refused to leave the island. Most of the buildings in the village are new as they are frequently destroyed in the dragon attacks. The dragon type includes Gronkle big, tough, and slow dragons that have a rough and rocky texture. Their wings are humorously tiny. Terrible Terror are some of the smallest dragons around. Zippleback is a 2-headed dragon and can breathe fire, but only when the heads work together. One side spits flammable gas, while the other can create sparks that ignite the gas into fire. Deadly Natter has bodies covered with hundreds of sharp spines that they can shoot at enemies to cause massive damage. Monstrous Nightmare is known for setting itself on fire. This species is aggressive and powerful, covered in a variety of horns and spines. Night Fury have a jet black color. These deadly dragons blend in with the night sky and can perform devastating dive bomb attacks. They shoot plasma bursts instead of fire like most other dragons. A Night Fury never steals food, never shows itself, and never misses. During one attack, Gobber is distracted by a dragon attack, and Hiccup manages to sneak out with his catapult. Hiccup believes he has shot down a Night Fury, an extremely dangerous dragon that no one has ever seen. Hiccup is attacked by a nightmare, but saved by Stoik. Hiccup claims that he shot a Night Fury, but Stoik refuses to believe him and says that Hiccup would never be a dragon killer. Hiccup ventures out himself and finds the Night Fury in the nearby forest, trapped in Hiccup's bolus. Hiccup tries to kill it, but finds himself unable to and instead cuts it free. The Night Fury then suddenly pins Hiccup down, but to Hiccup's surprise, it spares him. The Night Fury roars and disappears into the forest. Stoik assembles a fleet to seek out the dragon's nest, believing that if he destroys the nest, the dragons who go somewhere else. Stoik places Hiccup into a dragon fighting class taught by Gobber along with other children of the village, including fellow teenagers Fishlegs, Christopher Minceblast, an enthusiastic youth knowledgeable in dragon lore, Snotlout, Jonah Hill, who is brash, overconfident, and fairly unintelligent, but reliable, twins Roughnut, Kristen Wiig, and Toughnut, TJ Miller, and Astrid America Ferreira, a girl whom Hiccup has a crush on. On the first day, Hiccup is almost killed by a Gronkle in training. After hearing that dragons will always go for the kill, Hiccup is curious about why the Night Fury did not kill him. Hiccup searches for and finds the dragon trapped in a deep... Later, Hiccup fashions a makeshift harness and prosthetic tailpiece that allows him to guide the dragon in free flight. Toothless tries to escape, but realizes that he cannot fly the prosthetic without Hiccup. Hiccup is able to transfer his knowledge of Toothless behavior to the other species of dragons at Dragon Fighting class, appearing to conquer each one in battle and becoming the star pupil, much to Astrid's dismay. Hiccup learns simple things like dragons are afraid of heels, will chase a beam of light like a cat, love rolling around in the grass, will fall asleep when scratched under the neck, and so on. Eventually, Hiccup completes the class and is selected to kill a dragon in front of the entire village, much to his dismay. Meanwhile, the unsuccessful and battered Viking fleet arrives home, but Stoik gets excited once he hears of Hiccup's success. Astrid discovers Hiccup training with Toothless, but before she can tell the village, Hiccup takes her for a ride on Toothless. At first, Astrid is terrified but then begins to enjoy the excursion. While Astrid expresses concern over Hiccup's upcoming exam, Toothless unexpectedly joins a flock of dragons and takes the pair straight into the dragon's nest, where they discover the presence of a gigantic dragon named the Red Death. The Red Death depends on the food the other dragons bring back. If there is not enough, it feeds on the smaller dragons themselves. Realizing the dragons have been forced to attack Berk to survive, Astrid wishes to tell the village, but Hiccup advises against it to protect Toothless. Hiccup is put to his final exam the next day by fighting a monstrous nightmare. But when he tries to show the village the dragon's true and peaceful nature, Stoic stops the fight, inadvertently angering the dragon and endangering Hiccup. Toothless hears Hiccup scream and flies in to save him, but is captured himself. Hiccup, attempting to explain his actions, accidentally reveals how to find the dragon's nest. Realizing his mistake, he tries to warn his father of the danger, but Stoic refuses to listen to his son. Though shaken, Stoic disowns Hiccup and leaves with another fleet, using a restrained Toothless as their guide. Astrid prompts Hiccup to realize he spared Toothless out of compassion, not weakness. Regaining his confidence, Hiccup shows his friends how to befriend the training dragons, and they set out after Toothless. Stoic and his Vikings locate and break open the dragon's nest, awakening the Red Death, which easily overwhelms them. Hiccup and his friends ride in on the training dragons, distracting the Red Death. Hiccup and his friends arrive to find the Red Death has burned the ships and is about to consume Stoic and Gobber. Hiccup's classmates distract it while Hiccup attempts to free Toothless. However, Hiccup and Toothless almost drown after the ship is destroyed by the distracted Red Death, but both are saved by Stoic. Hiccup and Toothless succeed in luring the Red Death into flight, ultimately damaging its wings and then forcing it into an inescapable dive back to Earth, killing it in a massive explosion with its own prematurely ignited fire breath. While attempting to flee from the crashing dragon, Hiccup falls and Toothless dives into the flames after him. Hiccup wakes up back on Berk, discovering his left leg has been amputated and replaced with a prosthesis made by Gobber. He is elated as he steps outside to find the Vikings and dragons working together to rebuild their village. Hiccup is now admired by his village, including Astrid, who kisses him. Berk begins a new era of humans and dragons living in peace.